Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami says, O King Indra, whenever somebody obtains lots of wealth, material wealth, and occupies a high seat, gets a good position, it is very difficult for that person to control his pride and his senses. He becomes very proud. He thinks he's great. Everybody has to follow him. It is very difficult, O King, to find a person who has riches, who is very rich, and or has high position in human society, and is humble, has his senses under control. It's very difficult to find such a person. Because this is the law of material life. Prabhuta pahi kahi madanahi. After receiving a lot of wealth or a high position, who is that person on this earth who did not become proud, arrogant, and thinks everybody as nothing? Not important. Very not possible to find, very difficult. The reason of this, that after obtaining wealth or position, one becomes arrogant, is that after receiving all this, person loses his reasoning power, his right intellect, his faculty of intelligence becomes topsy-turvy, because opulence's name in Sanskrit is Lakshmi, and she climbs upon an owl. Owl means stupidity. When somebody becomes blessed by Lakshmi, also owl comes and makes him stupid. And he or she thinks, oh, I'm very intelligent, but his reasoning power is lost because owl comes too. Because carrier also comes with Lakshmi, like that. That's why it's very, very, very difficult to find a rich person, not arrogant and not egotistic. Such a opulent person starts thinking, whatever I want, I can do. I want to do whatever I want to do. And whatever makes me feel good to do, I want to do that. Those who don't follow what I say, they are my enemies. Everybody has to follow what I say. Everybody has to pay me respect. Whatever I do, that is correct, even though it's totally incorrect. So, if I give something to somebody, they have to honor me, they have to serve me. He wants a return from his charity. He thinks, papair vimukta nrupaloka manyaha, and gunair bihina gunino bhavanti. That's what he wants. He wants that whatever sinful deeds he did do, it's not sinful. Or he can give charity and get rid of the sin. Or bad qualities of me are hidden by my wealth, he thinks. Even though I do something criminal, I can win the court by bribery or whatnot. Buy a first-class lawyer and fight my case. Something like that. Those who don't follow his will, he creates trouble for them, creates havoc, restlessness for them. Just imagine what can riches bring to a person. He becomes so impudent, and all discriminatory powers are lost from him. In this way, thus, slowly, gradually, he degrades himself, falls down, becomes ruined. Sri Sutta Goswami says to the sages in Naimisharanya, O sages, when Lord Indra, the king of heaven, was hiding underwater in Manasarovar lake due to the sin of killing a Brahmana called Brahmatya in Sanskrit was haunting him, that's why he hid in the water, as we told previously. At that time, his seat in heaven, Indra's seat, was empty. There was no ruler in heaven. When there is no ruler, then chaos takes place. So the sages there in heaven thought, wow, without a ruler, there may come trouble. This seat of Indra should not be vacant. Because if the seat is vacant, if there is no person sitting, there will be no fire sacrifices held or any ritualistic ceremony be held on earth, because Indra is invited in fire sacrifice to take his share first. Then fire sacrifice is held. So, they thought, we got to get a person fill this seat of Indra. Indra is a seat, like Prime Minister or President is a seat. Person is different, named each time, like that. So they traveled to earth from heaven. The sages came down to earth and moved around, and they found, or at that time, King Nahuṣa, son of Yayati, son of Ayu, son of Ayu, who was born in a Moon dynasty, was a ruler, ruling on the earth. And he was very pious because he performed great sacrifices. Sages reached King Nahuṣa and told him, can you please occupy Indra's seat in heaven? So until Indra comes back, you rule the heavenly planet. Nahuṣa said, no, I'm not qualified. I'm a human being of earth. How can I go with this body to heaven and rule there? That is impossible. Because only after death one goes to heaven or hell somewhere. With body you cannot go there. Moreover, I don't have that much of potency in me from tapasya, performing austerities. Spiritual potency is not sufficient. I did not do so much meritorious deeds to go with the body to heaven. Sages said, don't worry, we will send you with our purity. With this body you will go to heaven and sit there. We will give you our potency to rule there too. Because one who is a devotee, broad-hearted, broad-minded, and very humble and giving, room-giving personalities. So these sages said, oh yeah, we will give you everything we require, but you do this what we say. You go and sit on the seat of Indra and rule heaven. So, Nahuṣa is a king, he is a politician too, so he understood the desperate, these fellows, Swāmī, sannyasis, sadhus, saints and rishis and munis, they want me to do something, so said, okay, I do it as per your wish, but you have to bless me with a special blessing. So what is that blessing? That anybody comes in front of me, their half energy, strength, potency, intellect and purity comes to me. Half of that. Male, female, anybody comes in front of me, their half potency comes to me. So they said, okay, we bless you. You have it. But you go and occupy Indra's position until Indra comes back. Nahuṣa left earth and went to heaven and sat on the seat of Indra. After some time enjoying heavenly pleasures and being in position, high position, he became arrogant. He became proud. His pride had no bounds. Because a small person put in a high position, he forgets he was small. Then he cannot handle that high position, high status. If somebody, a poor man, is given millions of dollars just immediately, he may have a heart attack. Or he may not know how to spend, what to do with so much money. That happened to Nahuṣa. He started disrespecting the sages who made him Indra there. So these sages, they understood this guy is too much. Has been put by us to such a high position. Inconceivable to a human being to become the king of heaven. You with same body, not possible. So the sages thought, oh, he forgot that he was a human being there, is a small person on earth as a king. And has become very proud. Thus, all these sages, unknown to Nahuṣa, went to discuss with the presiding priest of heaven. Presiding priest of heaven is Brihaspati. They went in the residence of Brihaspati because he is upset with being disrespected by Indra. That's why he is in his house. So they, sages, reached there and said, and narrated everything what had happened. So Brihaspati said, nothing can be done now because you have blessed him that half of everything will come to him. So if I go in front of Nahuṣa, half of my purity, energy and intellect will go to him. Nothing can be done. So sages ask, something has to be done. For every problem there is a solution. We may not know that solution, but that does not mean solution does not exist to the problem. He said, yes, there is one solution. So sages asked, what is that solution? So Brihaspati replied, when he insults Indrani, the wife of original Indra, because now Nahuṣa is Indra. if he insults the Indrani, the wife of original Indra, then he will shortly fall off from here. So really? Yes. So they left the house, all the sages left the house of Brihaspati, presiding priest, left the house and came and thought, let's arrange a conference. So they arranged a conference, all the 7 sages came, everybody came, all the saintly people, they are having conference. In that they decided, from today, for every activity sages and saintly people do, the chairman of ours will be Agastya Muni, they said. Okay, they agreed. Then, in the discussion, resolution was passed that naturally in front of Indra, Apsaras, means the dancer, female dancers of heaven dance in front of him when he sits on a seat. That is happening every day, every time, every Indra. So naturally they are dancing in front of Nahuṣa too. So from today onwards, these dancers, female dancers, they magnify the glories of Indrani in front of Nahuṣa and narrate how beautiful she is while dancing. So this message was sent to Apsaras, the dancers, female dancers of heaven. Usually they would dance, they dance every day in front of Nahuṣa too. But from today, they are doing special dance. While dancing, they are also singing. You see, previously there were music and somebody else would sing. So somebody else, that guy, stopped singing, only play music, and the Apsaras are singing and dancing. Double. So, Nahuṣa heard the beauty, how beautiful she is, Indrani. Indrani means Indra's wife. Her name is Sachi Devi. And she is called Indrani because she is Indra's wife. That's why she is called Indrani. Otherwise, her actual name is Sachi Devi. Like President's wife is called the First Lady. She is called First Lady, but she has a name. Similarly, Indrani is because of Indra. She is called Indrani, but she has a name. That is Sachi Devi. So the Apsaras are glorifying, and this guy, Nahuṣa, is hearing all this. So he thought, wow, I'm Indra. Why Indrani is not with me? Indrani should be with me. Because she's so beautiful, I've never seen her. I only heard about her on earth. So he called upon air god, Vayu, because air goes everywhere. So hey, come here. He came. You know, you got to go to Indrani and tell her, I'm Indra, she has to come and serve me. So the air god Vayu did not like what he said. But what could he do? He can do nothing because he's the president of him. Nahuṣa is the king of heaven, so he is the king of Vayu too. So he went, okay, what else to do? So he went, Indrani, and told her what had happened. Indrani heard this, she became perplexed what to do. Her husband is not there, he is haunted by sin of killing a Brahmana, and he is hiding somewhere. And now some other guy from earth, his human being is put as Indra, now I have to go and serve him. she reached Brihaspati in his house. Brihaspati is in his house. Indrani's husband Indra disrespected him. Still, because he is a priest, even though he is upset, he has to give correct advice like it happened with me. ISKCON leaders, they would come and ask me for advice, ask me spiritual answer questions, which nobody even today can answer those questions. They would come and ask. They would come only after sunset, most of the time. After sunset, when it becomes dark, then only they will come. If they ask questions, I have to tell everything correct. Cannot tell wrong. Not possible. If you are a real devotee, you have to deal with everyone equally. You have to have equal sight, vision. They think I am a culprit, but I don't think. No, not possible, because you lose your purity, you think somebody is a culprit for you. But if they commit offense, you have to say something. When a screwdriver is driven here, sometimes you have to say, oh, it's paining. You have to say something like that. So it may happen, but we deal correctly. Since that Poland lady was sent to me, she climbed upon this seat and put her foot on my head. Unheard, unseen, unthought, unexpected. Young lady, 25 years maybe, aged. And ISKCON sent her stand on my seat and put her foot on my head. Press it down. What was their scheme? I don't know. My two brahmacharis pulled her down. They don't know what to do with the lady. They are not taught like that. We don't do with these ladies. So I went to public and told what is their ISKCON is doing. So they stopped now. No problem. Even though Indra disrespected Brihaspati, Brihaspati advised his wife Indrani correctly. Said, there is no other way than accepting the order. You accept his order, but put one condition. That is that he has to climb on a palanquin, and that palanquin has to be carried by sages, saintly people, in midday in summer, and bring it to my house. So she followed, sent the message. Hearing this, Nahuṣa was so happy. Wow, now Indrani accepted me. See, reasoning power lost. Indrani is supposed to go and see him. So he lost his reasoning power. He could not understand Indrani is supposed to come here. Not I supposed to go there. When the time of ruination comes, right intelligence becomes lost like that. So Nahuṣa decorated himself because he has to go. He sent the message to the sages. Sages, what can they do? They can do nothing except holding the palanquin on their shoulders and carrying him to Indrani's house. There is no other solution for the sages. So they agreed. So he decorated himself, sat in the palanquin, and sages lifted. And midday, scorching heat. And these Swāmīs, these sages are eating feast every day. Everybody is inviting them. They are eating feast. Bhandara, it's called Bhandara in Sanskrit. They eat bhandaras, they have bulky bodies, and they have no habit of lifting a palanquin. They never did before. Sages and saintly people never held a palanquin on their shoulder carrying somebody in a palanquin. Never happened this, or nobody could dare ask such a thing to sages. A Swāmī is respected. How can you ask, Sir Swāmī, please carry palanquin, I will sit inside. So they had to carry. And because they don't know how to carry, plus it's scorching heat, bulky bodies, they could not carry. Slow walk. They walked slow. This heavy king sitting inside. Palanquin itself is heavy too. So Indra, what do you call that? Nahuṣa sitting inside the palanquin was restless, wants to meet Indrani immediately. For a lusty person, for a man who is craving for women, 1 minute is 1 year or more, feels like. Person who wants to meet, has got appointment with a woman, wants to meet immediately, and 1 minute late becomes like 1 year. So he said from inside the palanquin, hey sages, sarpa, sarpa. In Sanskrit, sarpa means walk quickly. Walk quickly, walk quickly. You are too slow. Sages were sweating like hell because sun scorching heat from the top. They were all upset. They have to carry such a heavy burden on the shoulder. The shoulders are also paining. And he's shouting, sarpa, sarpa inside. Go quickly, walk quickly. Sarpa, sarpa means walk quickly. So, Agastya Muni became very angry. And you become sarpa right away. Sarpa means also snake. You fall from here right away and become a snake on earth. So, Nahuṣa fell right on the spot and came down to earth as having a snake's body. Python. Python is also a snake. Hearing this, Saunaka Rishi, head of 88,000 rishis in Naimisharanya, asked Suta Goswami, O Gurudeva, now the seat in heaven, King Indra's seat, is empty. And Indra original is hiding because killing of a Brahmana, sin called Brahmatya in Sanskrit, is haunting him. What happened then? There's an empty seat there. How did the kingdom of heaven run? This question was asked by Saunaka Rishi to Suta Goswami. We will discuss, answer later on. Thank you very much.